Now at 10, the Wisconsin River's water levels continue to rise as officials worry of historic flooding. And you may need them tomorrow. Dave Caulfield says some spots might see 80 degrees. We'll have your first alert forecast.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
The Red Cross has just opened an emergency shelter in Columbia County for residents displaced by flooding. The flooding along the Wisconsin River is expected to get worse as the weekend goes on. Adam Duxter is live at the shelter in Portage with what police are doing to prepare for the rising water. Adam?
Well, Amanda, I'm at the United Methodist Church in Portage, where Red Cross officials have opened up that emergency center for anyone displaced by the flooding of the Wisconsin River here. The last check, the Wisconsin River was up to just about 19.5 feet. And again, officials continue to expect it to rise as time goes on tonight and into tomorrow. And while the DNR is anticipating many people to have to evacuate, some folks we talked with today said that this is nothing they haven't seen before.
Patricia Heinekel has called Portage home for a while now.
50 years.
Which means she's no stranger to the rising waters. Her home, victim to floods in years past.
My basement was flooded. I lost my furnace. They had to come in, turn off electricity, pump all the water out my kitchen window into the backyard.
Now she says she's gotten smart. A pump in her basement, always going, keeping her dry. But today, the water is high yet again.
This incident is really about a lot of snow melt in a short amount of time from the northern part of the state. That's all just working its way down the river. You add in a few rainstorms and you have a recipe for some flooding like this.
The Wisconsin River up to the major flooding stages, last measuring in at 19.5 feet and rising. And while it's nothing Patricia or the DNR haven't seen before, it's still serious.
Every situation is a little bit different, and that can really change from minute to minute.
The DNR says people on the other side of the river were told to evacuate. The water is expected to crest late tomorrow night, shy of the record set in 2010, and then go back down by the middle of next week. Patricia says in the meantime, she's glad at the way emergency managers are handling the situation.
Then they're on top of it. I'm proud of them.
And Mike Kilstrom with the DNR says while things do look contained at the moment, that it's important to keep up to date with what is happening because things really can change at any moment. He says for now, the best thing to do is to continue to be safe and continue to stay tuned with the updates that they're putting out about the rising water levels.
Thank you so much, Adam. Officials are recommending about 30 households on the Wisconsin River in Sauk County evacuate tonight. Residents along Indian Trails near Lake Delton and on Levy Road and Plumbers Grove in the town of Fairfield should find another place to stay until further notice. According to Sauk County Emergency Management, Columbia County officials are also urging residents in the towns of Caledonia and Lewiston to evacuate. As water levels are expected to rise to near historic levels, volunteers helped make sandbags for residents earlier today. One came all the way from Wausau to help out.
If I was down and out, I hope somebody'd help me. You know, that's part of life. You got to help out. And like I say, I worked all my life, 55 years. I don't want to sit home and watch TV. I want to get out and be active. Keep moving.
Emergency officials recommend signing up for Nixle by texting their zip code to 888-777 to get the latest updates. Let's get a look at your first alert weather with Dave Caulfield out on the patio. Hi, Dave.
Hey, Amanda. At least the weather stayed dry today. If we can keep that dry weather around, especially as we get into next week, that would be ideal so we can give the rivers enough of a chance to start to get back to normal. However, we do have rain in the forecast later on Monday into Tuesday, so hopefully we can avoid the heavy bouts of rain that are possible, because not only are Sauk and Columbia County under major flood warnings, but we also have river flood warnings for the Mississippi through Prairie du Chien and closer to Platteville and Dubuque as well. There's some gauges there reading major flooding on the Mississippi. Live look in Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam at the clear skies. Temperatures right now in the lower 50s in Madison, still closer to 60 though in Mineral Point and Monroe. Wind speeds not too bad with high pressure close enough to us. not really much to talk about in the wind speed department, and that wind will stay calm overnight. Temperatures will dip into the lower to middle 40s. Partly sunny skies around for our Easter Sunday with highs in the upper 70s. Some of us could be close to 80 degrees tomorrow, so we'll talk more about that. Plus, have a closer look at the rain and thunderstorm threat for Monday and Tuesday in your First Alert forecast.
Thank you, Dave. And remember, you can stay ahead of the weather by downloading the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app. It is free in your app store. If you're a Wisconsin sports fan, you may have had a hard time deciding what to watch tonight, as the Milwaukee Brewers got their mojo back tonight with a win over the LA Dodgers. But the bigger game tonight, Game 3 of the first round of the NBA playoffs for the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks beat the Detroit Pistons 119-103 in Detroit just about a half hour ago. Coming up in about 15 minutes, News 3 Now sports director Jay Wilson will have those highlights for you. New at 10 tonight, a 49-year-old Baraboo man is in the Dane County Jail facing his 8th OWI. Gilbert De La Rosa was allegedly driving on Verona Road when he hit another car. The 18-year-old driver in the other car says De La Rosa then tried to run away to a nearby gas station. Officers eventually caught up with him and arrested him. He's also facing hit-and-run charges. When Beloit police arrested Elizabeth Castaneda for an OWI yesterday, they didn't expect the arrest to happen in their parking lot. In a Facebook post, officers said they tried to pull her over on the road, but instead of pulling over, she drove directly to the Beloit Police Department's parking lot and parked in a reserved squad car spot. Castaneda also faces disorderly conduct and possession charges. Madison police say a man is in critical condition following a shooting early this morning near James Madison Park. Around 2:15 this morning, officers responded to a report of a shooting inside an apartment building on the 600 block of East Johnson Street. Police say everyone involved in the incident knew each other and the public is not in danger. So far, police have not made any arrests. The search has ended for a man Madison police say pointed a gun at another driver while on the Beltline. It happened on the eastbound side of the Beltline near Mineral Point Road around 8 o'clock last night. Officers say the 24-year-old man was speeding when he pulled up next to the driver of another car and pointed a handgun at them. He exited while the other driver stayed on the Beltline and called police. Officers were able to identify him and arrest him on a felony charge of second-degree reckless endangerment. He's being held in the Dane County Jail. A new report says Wisconsin's job force could be in trouble because of a steep decline in net migration. The Wisconsin Counties Association research arm found Wisconsin doesn't have enough young people to take over jobs from retiring baby boomers in the coming 10 to 15 years. The state's birth rate also the lowest it's been in 40 years. The study says the state must determine what could make Wisconsin more attractive than other states facing the same population issues. While we anticipate the economic impact of the 2020 Democratic National Convention in Milwaukee, there's another big event that could actually match it, the Ryder Cup. Merchandise for the major golf tournament is already for sale in the clubhouse of Whistling Straits. Experts estimate the tournament could bring in nearly $135 million to the Milwaukee area. And it's not just businesses. Some people are renting out their homes for thousands of dollars.
Heard stories from 5,000 to 10,000, but and some even more than that. Other than having to live into a hotel or at my parents' house for a couple days, I don't see any other cons.
Major money will be spread throughout the I-43 corridor, with many people traveling to and from Green Bay to experience all the Packers have to offer. The return of another Madison Farmers Market this weekend. The 15th annual Westside Community Market kicked off this morning at the UW Health Digestive Center parking lot on University Avenue. Around 40 vendors selling anything from food to art were set up to greet customers this morning. Organizers say they've seen a lot of repeat customers throughout the years, and they're impressed with the event's growth.
Nice to catch up with the faces you've known for, year after year coming back. We've had people who came here first season who are still going strong.
You can stop by the market every Saturday until November. The beautiful spring weather was a great opportunity for people to get out and clean up the Madison area. Members of the organization Friends of Starkweather Creek volunteered to clean up the area as a way to celebrate Earth Week, something they do every year. Organizers say it's important to keep our natural resources in check. About 50 to 60 people helped out today. Several Madisonians spent their afternoon doing a good deed Wisconsin style. The inaugural Dipple Drunk in Public Picking Up Litter event drew several beer drinkers eager to pick up trash along the streets and sidewalks of Madison's east side. Dipplers started their afternoon with the barbecue and then canvassed the Tenney-Lapham neighborhood, picking up trash and stopping at bars. Founder Mike Park says a dipple is similar to a bar crawl, but trash gets picked up along the way.
You're having a beer, so it kind of invites people who otherwise wouldn't go to volunteer because maybe they've only got so much time per week to go and have a beer and be out with friends. So instead they come out and have a beer and pick up trash and do something good.
If you're interested in hosting a dipple in your neighborhood, we have details on our website, channel3000.com. A McFarland teen is taking change into her own hands. She organized a race to benefit Parkinson's disease research. Libby Pavlik decided to recognize her mom's Parkinson's disease diagnosis by organizing the first annual 608 Foxtrot, a 5K run walk which saw more than 230 participants this morning. Libby's mom, Nicole, was one of about 60,000 Americans who are diagnosed with Parkinson's disease each year. Most of those people are 60 or older, but Nicole was only 44, making her part of about 10% diagnosed with young onset Parkinson's.
We kind of turned something that most people would find disheartening and almost sad, but we turned in something positive by being here today.
The race raised more than $11,000 for the Michael J. Fox Foundation, which funds research and therapy for Parkinson's disease. Coming up on News 3 Now, another sign of warmer weather. The Westside Community Market kicked off today. An update tonight about a story out of the Milwaukee area. Since a massive apartment fire in the suburb of Bayside late last month, residents haven't been able to go back inside their units to retrieve what's left of their belongings. On Thursday, residents got an email from Paul Davis Restoration telling residents they can get items from their apartments, but it will come at a cost. The email offers 30 minutes in each apartment for $250 that would need to be paid before any work begins. Residents say they shouldn't have to pay.
Pay $250 to go into what was our home to recover things that are ours seems really ridiculous.
The property managers say they asked Paul Davis to come up with a plan to help residents salvage some of their belongings, but the email that was sent out to residents was never approved. In a statement, Paul Davis says they did offer our services to anyone at White Oaks Apartments that may have wanted them, but in no way have forced our services on or required anyone to use us to help them. White Oaks says they are looking into no-cost options for residents to retrieve their belongings. At least 5 deaths are blamed on a massive storm that destroyed homes from the southeast to the Washington, D.C. area. It dumped heavy rain as it moved into the northeast, causing dangerous flooding in some spots. CBS News' Kenneth Craig looks at some of the hardest hit areas.
Across parts of the South, the extreme weather came and went in a flash.
This time it rained so fast and so quick that the drains didn't have time to take it.
In Pulaski, Virginia, heavy rains caused flooding, trapping cars and forcing streets to close. The scene is like many across the South over the past few days. Torrential rains, tornadoes, and high winds have caused devastating damage. A tornado touched down in Reston, Virginia late Friday.
No more than 5 seconds and we hear this incredible crack and snap. As I looked a little closer, I noticed that my truck was sitting under the tree.
At least 5 deaths have been blamed on the severe weather across the southern and eastern U.S. An 8-year-old girl was killed when a tree fell on her Woodville, Florida home just south of Tallahassee. A fire station in North Carolina took a hit from the storms.
I walked into the day room to look out the window, and next thing I know, there was a loud boom, sounded like the roof flew off, literally.
In southern New Jersey, heavy rain caused flooding early Saturday. The National Weather Service was forecasting excessive rainfall in New England throughout the day. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, New York.
Thousands of people who were in the path of the storm were still without power today. Let's get a look at your first alert weather. It has been a pretty busy spring so far, Dave.
Yeah, across much of the country, Amanda, that is true. And this low pressure system that continues to cause problems just really isn't moving all that quickly. Luckily, over the next 24 hours, it will continue to track farther into New England and take more of the rain away from more populated areas. But in spots like southern Wisconsin, we enjoyed high pressure today. So lots of sunshine and just nice conditions outside. It was an absolutely gorgeous day across the area with temperatures near 70 in many spots and wall-to-wall sunshine. We're still looking at clear skies right now in Madison on the Edgewater Skycam. Our low temperatures this morning, though, really, we went through a temperature journey today. We started off in the upper 20s in Madison and highs got close to 70 degrees, and that 28 actually may be significant down the road. We'll have to wait and see. We still have to get through May, and sometimes we can get some chilly temperatures in May, but it might be our last freeze date of the season because I'm not forecasting anywhere close to the freezing mark as far as our low temperatures are concerned over the next 10 days. But typically our average last freeze date is around the first couple of weeks of May. After that, we can safely start to plant things across southern Wisconsin. But we've had our last 32-degree day as late as June 10th. So it can take a while some years. So we'll see what happens this time around. And we'll also see if we get chilly temperatures back for the beginning of May. 50 right now in Madison, so not chilly at all. We're at 59 in Monroe, 61 still in Mineral Point. Our high temperatures today, as I mentioned, upper 60s and lower 70s with all that sunshine. Easter is tomorrow, and if you can believe it, temperatures get even warmer for the holiday tomorrow. We're starting off morning service in the mid-40s, then in the upper 60s for the midday meal as we get into egg hunt territory by the afternoon and evening. Hopefully not too competitive, and hopefully we get a lot of great things in those Easter eggs. temperatures in the upper 70s. We've been hunting for some sunshine, and we finally found it over the last couple of days, although we will see a few more clouds tomorrow. And our temperature milestones, I mentioned we're close to 80 degrees. Typically our first average 80-degree day in Madison is May 5th, so we would be well ahead of schedule if we do hit that tomorrow. There is a chance, but I think we'll be stuck in the upper 70s. Poor us. Don't feel bad for us. We'll be very, very nice tomorrow. A warm front really helps get those temperatures into the upper 70s tomorrow. High pressure to our south. Then we welcome in our next chance of rain. Some low pressure systems on the way with that front. It really does depend on where that front sets up as to the spots that will see the heaviest rain throughout Monday and into early Tuesday. For tonight, though, no rain to speak of, mostly clear and milder. Temperatures in the mid-40s for tomorrow. Highs close to 80 degrees, partly sunny and very mild for this time of year. You can see one of our models as far as rainfall goes into Monday and Tuesday, about a quarter to a half an inch of rain for southern Wisconsin, but closer to where that front sets up, we could be talking about a lot more than that. And with the flooding situation ongoing across southern Wisconsin, that is not what we want to see. So hopefully we can avoid those heavy downpours and showers for the next couple of days, but we'll be prepared just in case we can. Wednesday and Thursday on the 10-day forecast, we get the partly sunny skies back, temperatures in the low 60s, plenty more chances for showers and storms as we get into the start of next weekend.
I'm crossing my fingers on that being our last freeze.
Yes.
I think a lot of us are. We appreciated that. Look at all the years before it. Really puts it into perspective.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I worked hard on that graphic.
Good.
So.
Thank you, Dave. The Bucks keep rolling on the road. That story from Detroit coming up next in sports.
The Milwaukee Bucks were basically unbeatable at home in the first 2 games of their playoff series with the Detroit Pistons. The question is, would it be the same story on the road? First time in the series, Blake Griffin able to play for the Pistons. He's had a bad knee, not 100%, but boy, did he help. 27 points. The and one here kept the Pistons close, but not for long. Watch Brook Lopez. He beats Thonmaker off the dribble to the hoop. Final score, Bucks 119, Pistons 103. Bucks lead the series 3 games to none.
We just kind of stick with what we do. Different guys making plays, different guys stepping up. And we're able to kind of manage that storm and actually have a lead at the end of the first quarter and then just maintain our focus and our effort really for the whole game.
Chris Middleton led the Bucks with 20. Lopez and Eric Bledsoe had 19. Giannis, 14 points, 10 rebounds. Bucks can wrap up their first playoff series win since 2001 if they win Game 4 in Detroit Monday night. Brewers and Dodgers play Game 3 of their series as the sun sets outside of Miller Park. Remember that movie Groundhog Day? Well, Christian Yelich is Bill Murray. Every day Yelich wakes up, he goes to the park, and he hits another homer. This is his 12th of the season. And later, he hit another homer, so that's 13. He also has a league-leading 31 runs batted in, and it's only April 20th. Chase Anderson pitched well in a spot start. Ryan Braun added a 3-run homer. Final there, Brewers 5, Dodgers nothing. Final game of the series tomorrow afternoon at Miller Park. This afternoon at Wrigley Field, the Arizona Diamondbacks cooled off the Cubs a bit. The Diamondbacks got to Yu Darvish for 3 runs in 5 innings. Zach Greinke shut down the Cubs' offense. Final at Wrigley is Arizona 6 and the Cubs nothing. The Badger football team has 3 more practices next week, then that's the end of spring. Most everyone has been wondering about the progress of freshman quarterback Graham Mertz, who is going to be in the running for the starting quarterback position next fall. Mertz could still be a senior in high school, but came to Wisconsin a semester early. He says there's been a bit of a learning curve as an early enrollee at Wisconsin.
Definitely the mental game, because it's like you got to have an answer for every coverage, every play. So that's definitely the biggest thing, but it's been a great spring ball, and it's just been a great progress. It's a clean slate. It's college ball now, so none of that stuff matters. It's just about winning now.
When you walk around campus, do people already know who you are? Like,
yeah, but I just try to be a normal guy. Like, you see someone walking around that's like, hi to you, so you just got to – I try not to be the guy who'll be like, no, I'm not going to talk to you. So I just try to be nice to everyone. My mom raised me to be a good egg, so I just try to be that around campus.
Badger softball team plays Indiana again this afternoon. Looks like it'd be smooth sailing with Stephanie Lombardo as she hit the 2-run homer to give the Badgers an early 2-0 lead, but Indiana would tie it. They wouldn't decide this thing till the 13th inning. That's when Wisconsin loads the bases and Lauren Foster gets the game-winning hit. Took over 4 hours with the final score in 13. Wisconsin 4, Indiana 3. Final game of the series is tomorrow at 1 at Goodman Diamond. And there was a bit of Madison sports history last night in Orlando, Florida, as Madison FC, forward Madison FC, got its first regular season win. At 1-1 in the 70th minute when the Madison scored the game winner off a free kick. Look at that, off the post. Sean Russell put the rebound home for a 2-1 forward at Madison FC win, their first in their history. Next Saturday, the Flamingos have their first ever home game at Breese Stevens Field against Greenville Triumph FC. That's why your coach always tells you, don't give up on a play. Off the crossbar, everybody's kind of looking.
There
Boom.
you go.
Never give up.
And their first win. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Thanks, Jay.
You bet.
All right, so a pretty nice Easter Sunday tomorrow.
An excellent Easter Sunday.
Stop
I
that.
got one in, yeah.
Stop
Tonight, temperatures will be milder, mostly clear. How do I sleep at night? Very well, folks. We are talking about very nice temperatures tomorrow as well for Easter Sunday. Temps in the 70s by lunchtime, highs in the upper 70s with partly sunny skies. 10-day forecast looking at the return of some rain showers and thunderstorms for Monday, especially late Monday into Tuesday. We're watching the potential for some spots to get some heavy downpours. Hopefully we can avoid them. Depends on where exactly that front sets up as everything kind of gets situated with that storm system. But I do think by the time we get to Wednesday and Thursday, we lose those rain chances once again. Temperatures in the lower 60s on Wednesday, upper 60s by Thursday. And then those thunderstorm chances come right back. It's not done with April yet, so the April showers aren't done with us just yet. We're in the 60s and lower 70s, though, as we head into the back half of that 10-day forecast. So at least temperatures will stay pretty pleasant.
Take advantage of that day tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.